Hello everybody, today I have the pleasure to propose to you this new key 76 entitled the Extraterrestrial. So this is the first video for which we will spend 4 videos. We will go progressively, and this is the last pillar of the 4 ones before regarding hidden dimensions or hidden reality, hidden words. The first one was energies. The second one was egregores. The third one was hereafter, and now extraterrestrial. So, to be frank with you, it's the first time I talk about that in public. For certain reasons. Okay. So, anyway, we're gonna tell you how I see the things and how to appreciate with a structure and so on. We will try to be critical. Krisis in Greek means to separate, okay, to select the interesting information, and those can be maybe missing elements or constancy. Sorry. So, as an introduction, I just would like to arrive at it. Okay, so I will tell you why I choose also this landscape. This background, actually, just small anecdotes, and it was a great friend of mine who said to me he had there was an exhibition regarding ET in London, and there was a kind of, it was more for kids, for writing a message to them, to the ET potentially, and the kids wrote, "Do you believe in us?" And I find that super touching and very nice, because we are more focused on that direction than them towards us. You know, eventually, if they exist or they don't exist. There is a danger to treat this this topic, because I mean, English speakers most of the time, like in States, in Canada, and Australia or Britain, are more open, but personally, in my country, and especially in France, it's kind of taboo. Probably the country of Descartes, who is, by the way, spiritual. But you know, this notion of reluctance, detachment, and the fact that something can be without any control. You know, so it's like recognizing with a certain arrogance the fact not to master everything or to know everything, which is just normal and human, as Plato say, or Aristotle, who said, "All what I know is that I don't know." So there are dangers as well of shortcuts, okay, and to be, let's say, discredited by people. That's why a lot of scientists so far they didn't dare, okay. But it is more and more a period of disclosure, okay. It's a little bit like some of them started to talk. And like the phenomenon of Me Too, you know, it's a parallel, of course. The danger could be also to be obsessed with that, and just, you know, it's like awakening. Awakening, we have to be cautious. Awakening is not, I mean, it's not a finality, or spirituality is not a finality. It's a springboard to reach fulfillment, to share, to radiate, and so on. But life is also down to earth. It's to, in a multi-dimensionality. So the movies are preparing us, or they just want to block us in just a notion of fiction. This is a key question. I will ask you to think about it. Let's try to continue this introduction progressively. You know, there is a key question. Some people, they believe in it, in them, and they are convinced they are necessarily good ones. And other people are completely, they believe, but they are completely afraid they are devil and they want to destroy us. If they wanted to destroy us, they probably would have done before. And maybe it's not dualist. Maybe there are different kind of species, race, and so on. And some of them, they are neutral. Some of them, they are really innovative, though other ones are, let's say, more, let's say they just want like a parasite. But you know, it's like the mankind when the colonies has been made, especially by Westerners, European, Spaniards, Portuguese, French, British, and so on. They arrived, they spoiled, they destroyed, they killed. Same for the barbarians, the Mongols in the past, and so on. So, okay, it's part of the mankind, but there is also something we never talk. There are some civilization. They did colonies, and it was peaceful for 1,000 years. There is a case in South America and so on, and we can think about also, why not, for a while, in Atlantis. Well, you know, Einstein said, tell me what you mean by God. I will tell you if I believe in it or not. This is funny because, you know, we are not ashamed to say, to say we believe in atoms and electrons. It's like official. Who did see an atom or an electron? Nobody. Okay, but blindly we believe it. So the link with God, this is kind of taboo. We prefer to say now the source, the universe, and so on and so forth. And in a materialistic vision, especially in a secular country like France and so on, people don't want necessarily to evoke this topic. So, but anyway, so they are kind of ashamed regarding that. Not ashamed to say I believe in atoms, despite I never saw. And for God, it's the same. So, and I would say, furthermore, people are less ashamed to say I believe in God than I believe in ET. I mean, especially in Latin country or maybe more in France. Well, you know, it's a good dosage, being hermetic or looking under different prism, different angles of vision and so on, not believing blindly and so on and so forth. So we will try to enlarge the perspective, okay, of the concept of ET. Are there other humanoids? Are there species, other species? Are there forms of energies? Are there spirits? Are there future beings? Are there vision of us from the future? They are large scale, okay, and they are so big, like a universe would be a cell for them, and we cannot perceive them because we are blocked, or they are so small that, and they are there. So far, these are the old question we will try to see as well. So, as a structure, I propose to you part 1. Okay, today the first video would be the diagnosis through the prism, the angle of science, okay? Secondly, we will see space-time portals, gates. We will evoke the notion of vortex, energetic grid, organic portal, starseed, and so on. I will talk also about the wormholes. I will talk about my friend, American, she's French speaker, but she's American, Caroline Cory, who made recently a very good movie regarding ETs, and for which she had been rewarded in Los Angeles for a documentary. So I will talk about her because, and I had the chance to do 2 videos with her in the past, and I promoted her in the recently for the French speaker YouTube big channel, because I think it's collective interest that she is more known and maybe more supported and so on. You will understand why later. I will talk about Dolores Cannon as well, because personally I discovered her 12, 13 maximum years before, and this is important to transmit this kind of message. Third part, we will see the evocation of the ET in the traditions throughout the planets, and also in the religions as well. And we will evoke, of course, the famous missing link. Yeah, where it's coming from? Okay, from sapiens to sapiens, where this insight comes from. Maybe mix of DNA, we'll see. We will try to think about it. And fourth, we will try to expand the view of consciousness. We have star beings, for example, if they are ETs, they are extraterrestrials, so out of Earth, so necessarily they are from the galaxy. And what is the name of people from the galaxy? Galactic. So yes, I will talk about that. Eventually, Lagarta, Atlantis, we will try to see. So let's start with the first thing. So let's try to do gently, okay? So to take off, to see the proportion. I mean the size. This is important to visualize the scope. Mother Earth, the age is 4.6 billion of years, which is incredible for us. The Big Bang is officially 13.8 billions. And regarding Mother Earth, is like if the dinosaurs just arrived 25th of December for Christmas at 9 p.m. Okay. By the way, today when I record here, it is solstice. Okay, 22nd of December, and I will go just after jumping into the sea. Well, what I try to tell you is that our evolution is nothing. The cave of Lascaux, for example, the first draws on the walls, the paintings are around 20,000 years. So to visualize is like if this arrival occurred at 11 p.m. 20 seconds. To make it same vision over 24 minutes. Human consciousness just arrived at 11 p.m. 59 minutes 59 seconds. We are nothing at the Earth scale, and in the universe is even worse. So it could have been possible as well that some ET came in the past and they just disappeared like dinosaurs. Science is very anthropocentrist. What does it mean? Anthropo means human. Anthropology means the study of hello, a little cat. Well, it's so cute. Anthropocentrism means that you are focusing on the projection of what human are, how human are functioning. Like, who knows if there is no other environment that ET could live, like different energies, and or even not necessarily with air, with water, with lava, with mercury, silicon, plasma, and so on and so forth. Okay, to enlarge the perspective. So 3.6 billion of years, the first bacteria, okay, the first bacterium has an extraterrestrial origin from a meteorite arriving on Earth, and it is the first life on Earth, meaning thereby life is coming from extraterrestrial, even just for vegetals. Well, this is Metrodor of Chios, philosopher and scientist from the 4th century before Jesus Christ in Greece. He said it is absurd, stupid to conceive a field of wheat without a single stalk as a single word in this vast universe. I'm always comparing with the fact, okay, imagine you book all the hotels in the world only for you, and you are single, okay? For what? It's just such a wastage. So, this is funny because there is, according to the probabilities, there are more chances than the ET exists than the reverse, okay? Beyond of that, science is evolutionary, okay? So, and limited. It means that what we know now, let's say the picture we have now, will be probably different and enlarged in few years. It's normal. It's always like this. It's not criticizing. It's evolving, and it's normal. So, Copernicus, Kepler, Galileo, they were not right and not correct, but thanks to their work, they enlarged the perspective of consciousness. Just recently, in 2013, NASA was counting 4 billions of planets, okay? 4 billions of planets. And now, okay, let's say a few years later, the double 80 billions planet that could support life. So it's even more than this. Same, in 2012, they recorded, 200 billions of universe, of galaxies, sorry. And 4 years later, 10 times more. So you can imagine in 10 years, maybe it will be 100 more, and so on and so forth. So, according to the research, they need water. They need water for the habitable aspect. But we saw that there are in most of the planets, there is water. Then there is different option, different scenario. Okay, I'm not telling you what is true. I'm just inviting to think about that. So, interstellar travel is impossible because it's too expensive and too far. Okay, according to our current technicality. Okay, the first star is 40 or 50 years to reach it. Okay, the second option is the cosmic zoo. Okay, what does it mean? It means that we're not mature enough. We are just kids, kindergarten. They are philosophers, and they don't need necessarily to talk with kids of the kindergarten because we're still fighting each other. We're still in the competition. We're still in the materialistic dimension. Majority based of illusion, scarcity, and so on and so forth. The wars in the future, it's incredible. Oh my God, when we will say that to the new civilization, we will keep in mind for memories, it's for sure. But 3, existing civilization that never meet based on their lifespan. Why not? Civilization that exists, but they don't know how to communicate. Okay, so it's like you have buildings or a city, you have different buildings, but nobody go out, so they never communicate. Why not? Another option, they are invisible. They are just vibrating at a higher or lower frequencies, so we cannot see them with our eyes. The communication would be impossible, or let's say difficult to decode or to decipher based on which language. Maybe the language of heart, the language of love, the language of light, the language of pictures, telepathy, for example. There is a book you can download, and my website is for free. Is a book. The name is Big Picture. Okay, in English. There is no word in it. Okay, there is no word, not a single word, except the preface to explain it. But the rest is 144 pages with 644 different pictures. Okay, illustration. But there is storytelling, of course, and there are really existential, like creation of space-time, like many topics, like even the meaning of life and so on. So I invite you to check, if you can catch, by the way, what does it mean. And I'm pretty sure it is one of the new language of the future, or it was in the past, Atlantis, Lemuria, and so on, and it's just coming back. It's coming back. It's coming back. They came to the past and created our civilization and left, and or they are assimilated and still there. I repeat, they came to the past, they created our civilization, okay, yeah, DNA change, who knows, then they left, or they just assimilate. You know, immigration. You arrive in a country, then sometimes mixed couples, and then like states, like Brazil, like many countries now in the world, and they became, they have origins, but anyway, I think you will understand. And another option is not exhaustive. We are allowed. Okay, you don't like this one, I'm pretty sure. But this is the problem. The problem is what we call confirmation bias and or concordance bias. I started with the point of view, they don't exist. So I will prove whatever. I will find some elements, and or they don't exist, and I will prove it. But in both, it's a question of patience and lack of objectivity, because we cannot ignore if there is not enough elements, and if there are elements, it's integrity. It's always interesting to be open-minded. I mean, it's my point of view. But you know, Carl Sagan, he said extraordinary claims required extraordinary evidence. All right. Another point, very important. Obama, officially in May 2021, he said, "What is true, and here I'm speaking seriously, is that there are videos and recordings in the sky that we don't really know what they are." So another thing is the U.S. Army chief in 47 sends a document called a letter entitled "Eyes Only." Okay, he said, "UFOs are real. This is not another country's spy science." Russia, US, China, Israel, UK, France, many countries have a special cell and research departments to investigate and to record UFO phenomena and link to the defense budgets. You know, so if so, it means that is not innocent. Okay, there is necessarily an interest, and apparently, if they invest like this, it's not for nothing. There is a great, I invite you to check, it's a French report, Cometa report, asked by the French government. It was in the 90s, given to the Prime Minister, and actually Israel Secret Services, they attest it was really interesting and going in the same direction that the discovery. Same for Britain in the past. So actually same in 2016, UK declassified some reports matching with a lot of elements in Europe. In 71, it's funny because Soviet Union and states agreed to, in case of attack from ET, they will be soldiers. And this is something that I'm always thinking since I'm a teenager, to unify the humanity here on Earth. It's the paradox. Some of them, they would need next external threats, which is really showing also our degree of maturity. Okay, Chinese studies, they refer and they almost the same everywhere, some boards and also some phenomena very similar, like device with a very high speed, not human, let's say material right now, with a system of, for example, penetrating water and of 4,000 kilometers per hour. Other speed that we never had, even a rocket doesn't do that, 135,000. So it's just incredible. And also the way of moving, like there is no projection, is instantly acceleration and so on. So, and all of them, they thought it was like spy or from another country, China, Russia, but actually they just talk together. Recently, US and China, they exchange their private documents because just to try to reduce the pressure. So in June 2021, the Pentagon reports, it's only 9 pages, at the request of the US Congress, okay, officially gave 144 proven cases in US between 2019 and 2020. Only 1 year, 144. So since 2016-17, there is a declassification of CIA documents. The question is why it's happening now. Maybe before we were not ready. This is a key question. I invite you to think about that. But anyway, NASA in the past several times, they have been condemned twice, by the way, by the Congress for hiding some information. So, you know, more and more in states and in the world, for example, some Harvard's Primables or newspaper, Guardians, New York Times, and so on. they give more and more officialization and disclosure of the fact that they provide eye-opening evidence that mankind is not alone anymore in the universe. Okay, so, but actually they are testimonies, since 50s, but even before. Probably we will see for the part 3 from all the civilization almost. Okay, so there is one thing I will talk about. That is the scenario of the USS Nimitz, okay, in 2017, and an equivalent scenario before in 2004, for which they met exactly the same phenomena with the vision of few, let's say, UFO, okay, with the same, criteria or parameters, and it has been declassified. Okay, so and that's why those who wanted to testify, they have been kicked out, and so on. So so this incidents, they have been reported to top secret for the Pentagon for many years, and now they just open up the case since last year in June 2021. So the key question is why and when. I invite you to check these people, okay? Jacques Vallée, for example, Jean-Pierre Petit, Carl Sagan, John E. Mack, Stephen Greer, Michio Kaku, okay? And also Francis Crick, Nobel Prize for discovering the structure of DNA. Why it's so important? It's so important because he just stated that 3 to 5% of the human genome, the genes, are similar to Homo sapiens, okay, and 40% to banana. What does it mean? It means that he just say that it's like a GMO kind of modification and a sequencing appeared. So we'll talk about that in the third video regarding the missing link. I invite you also to check with Elizondo, okay, who was one of the very high rank of the military defense of US and so on. He were in a cell in charge of UFO and so on, and then he left. He has been replaced, but he has been close to the Stars Academy, so it's a kind of association. I mean, non-profitable. I mean, they do, but a few is not really to make a big money. So it's just for disclosure. Actually, they state that the fact is not something in a government or institution should classify in order to keep it as secret from the people, for folks. The goal is to use the expertise and credibility of its researchers to bring transformative science and engineering out of the shadows and collaborate with the citizens of the world, and so on, world to apply this knowledge in a way that benefits to humanity, okay, maybe free energy and so on and so forth. I will put a link of more than 2 very high-level US let's say militaries who just testified. So far, just in 2012, so imagine 10 years ago, officially 4,000 alien vehicles landed and took off. 3,500 cases of pilots on more than 5,000 documents by the US governments, and hundreds of thousands of pages of documents from 14 different countries in the world. So far, in French news, Spain, Germany, and so on, we don't talk about that. Okay, probably US, Britain, they are more in advance because it's kind of evolution. You have a National Geography in BBC, The Guardians, New York Times, and so on and so forth. You know, it's a little bit like the woman. Sorry for the bad parallel, but who is she has suspicious of the fact her husband is unfaithful. So she has a private spy. Okay, she saw strange things like withdraw in Venice or in a very romantic restaurant, and or some marks of lipstick and so on, some blonde hair on him and so on and so forth. So she has some doubts. So he's followed, and the spy can see he goes to very romantic restaurant and so on, offering rose, going and going up to the hotel, and he can see the window, and he can see that they're gonna kiss or hug or whatever, and the husband just closed the curtain. So he say that to the wife, and she say, okay, so we still don't have the official proof. Okay, you understand? Sorry for the bad parallel, but it's like, you know, the different testimonies regarding EMI. You know, there are 250,000 testimonies among the world officially recorded, but it's still not a scientist's demonstration. Anyway. In 2020, on a French nuclear central, the safety camera took many evidence like this, the same phenomena. And why I precise that? Because it's not innocent. A lot of nuclear places where there are weapons on air, even the centrals, it could interest some extraterrestrial for the simple reason then with the entanglements, okay, which is the fact that if two particles has been linked once at least, the fact to be separated is evolving and revealing the same information. So as everything is entangled, as everything as above so below, so as below so above, we can consider that if you give a gun to a kid of 4 years old, is a little bit dangerous, or the gas, and they play with the gas and so on, can explode the whole building. Okay, so apparently it could be a little bit like this. I will bounce back next time when I will evoke the waves of volunteers with Dolores Cannon, because they appear as 3 waves officially of volunteers, and then there are more, 4, 5, 6, endlessly until one understands, okay? And it is just after the years of the different bombs on Nagasaki and Hiroshima. So, but by the way, in between 1980 and 1988, more than 2,000 nuclear bombs have been used, just like trials France used to do in New Caledonia and so on. This is destroying not only the wonderful landscape, but also there is an impact in the world. That's why, are we ready? This is a key question. So I invite you to think, if you think that the movies prepare the consciousness, like 2001, Contact, First Contact, Star Trek, Stargate, Fifth Element, Star Wars, Avatar, Dune, Interstellar, and so on and so forth, and like science fiction books, and or if it's blocking this phenomena like just fiction. Up to you to decide. Maybe it's both, but it's also can prepare in both exists. So why, if they exist, they don't manifest? You're gonna think, and some maybe basically we are not ready. The whole institution and so on, the stock market, all this, the war industry and so on and so forth. They need to spend too much time of this obvious thing. And also probably a big problem of ego. Why? If they are coming to us from very far away, they are in advance regarding our technology. So it's like the kids who wants to pee further each other mutually. It's a bit like this. So and also it could be a problem, but maybe not, because we will see in the third video that it can be a complementarity. It can be basically just with the creationism, okay, with the fact that 6,000 is not Adam and Eve, or there is modification of DNA. Who knows? Why not? We will try to enlarge our perspective. But by the way, when I say it's probably a big problem of ego, Arthur Clarke said the following: one day in the stars we will meet our egos or our masters. And I would prefer to say, and we will master our egos and we will meet ourselves, the unity, our earth in the version in the future, and you will probably understand. So, are we ready? Are we ready? Opening of consciousness. You know, in spiritually, I like to say, one must believe in order to see, and not simply see in order to believe. Maybe they will appear more because we let them, the frequencies, to be more in the density. I invite you to think about that. I hope it will help you to shape the master key of the consciousness of love, of whatever you want. As you know, all the roads lead to Rome and to the Dome, and we do it again. As you know, all the roads, as you know, all the roads lead to Rome and to home and to the Dome. Thank you for your attention and see you very soon.